Hello everyone, welcome back. It's Ethan, and time for me to say some stuff about the movie Good Boy, which released about a week ago at the time of this recording. And this is a highly anticipated horror movie, which had a lot of people talking about since it was first really announced or revealed, whatever, a couple months ago, where it was revealed that it would be a paranormal movie following the perspective of a dog, which is something that had never been done before. People were saying it would be a live-action Courage the Cowardly Dog, and all this anticipation and build-up really had me interested in it when I wasn't before. So I went and saw it on the day it came out, the premiere night, at my local theater, and unfortunately, I don't think it quite nailed everything I had expected from this. Obviously, there will be some spoilers inbound, so here's your warning going into this, but I was really expecting kind of just the dog to be seeing the paranormal stuff and witnessing all this occurring around a family environment would be what my impression was going into this, whereas the actual movie takes place revolving around one guy and the dog, and the paranormal activity is coming directly after the dog as well as kind of it feels interacting with the dog through possession of the human, but I can't really say that for certain. The overall themes of the movie I'm still trying to put down. I might need to go see the movie again, but I think Indy the dog was easily a highlight for this, and it is worth watching for him alone, as it's very impressive, especially at the end. They have the behind the scenes thing on how they did this. It took them 3 years to film this, the director Ben Lienberg, and Indy's not a trained dog for movie stuff. This is literally just his dog, and in the behind the scenes and stuff, if I have some clips posted online, then I'll have them on screen now, but they just had the dog, and they were trying to like snap and make sounds and stuff to get him to look in different directions and do stuff and actions, and it's very, very impressive from that standpoint alone. If I didn't have that piece of information, the movie would be ranked lower, but that really bumps it up by like a whole star. The fact that they got Indy to act in a movie is very, very cool, and I cannot stress that enough, that the movie's worth watching for that alone. However, there are quite a few kind of plot points and just general nitpicks I have about the movie, with the biggest one being the CGI does not look great. There's 3 major segments where it stands out. There might be more where it was done better, but there's a part with a fox towards the end of the movie. Every single point where the paranormal monster kind of sludge thing shows up, it's very, very clearly CGI. It looks like Howard the Alien, like that old meme. It literally looks like that when it flashes on screen sometimes. And then we also have Indy jumping through a window, breaking glass towards the end as well. And it just, none of this looks particularly great. I don't think it's something that they should have attempted to that scale. On top of that, I don't think the acting from any of the people in the movie is very like great. Some of the way the lines are delivered and stuff I'm fine with, but the overall behavior of their body, like how they carry themselves, doesn't fit how they're talking. Obviously, something I will say I do like is it doesn't really show any humans' faces at all in the movie except for the grandpa, and then it shows the main character once he is dead. So there's some theming there that Indy only sees dead people basically from the perspective. Also, the low shots are very cool as well. But there will be a lot of times where like the main character will kind of be like really angry, and his hands will just be like so nonchalant, and he'll be moving like so chill, and it just does not fit what I'm imagining at all. Backtracking to stuff about the monster spiritual thing, I don't really understand what it's supposed to represent. I think it's supposed to represent kind of death as a being coming after the owner, obviously, and then but it leads me to be a little confused on why it comes after Indy. Also, don't understand with the dog, the old dog that used to be there, I think it was Bandit. The bandana from that dog is found like behind a dresser or whatever, wardrobe, and then is found on the skeleton of the dog in the basement for some reason. But based on the flashback with the monster, it gives me the assumption that the monster got the dog there and dropped it there, yet it's found on the dog in the basement again. So I don't really understand the point of the other dog existing, since it doesn't really add much to helping Indy besides getting him caught up in more hijinks. But I don't know. I just feel like I expected a lot more of the paranormal activity involvement with the movie overall, and it just feels like it's constantly Indy defending the room on the second floor. It works though in the fact that the suspenseful moments are suspenseful. There was moments where stuff would happen and I'd be literally on the edge of my seat wondering what's going to happen next, like just really anxious for what's going to happen, because obviously we care a lot about dogs, especially in movies. But I don't think that the movie was done to its fullest potential is my problem, and ultimately it ends up feeling a bit repetitive by the end of the movie, unfortunately, which I didn't want to say about this, but it leads me to giving the movie like around a 2 out of 5, because I just had wanted so much more. Maybe a 2.5 out of 5, but this movie just didn't hit the mark of what I expected from it, unfortunately. I still recommend watching it as it has some really good aspects, but there's just a lot of little, or not so little, nitpicks that I had about it when watching, unfortunately. As always, thank you all for watching. I know it's been a while since I posted. I've been trying to catch back up on a lot of stuff happening right now. There's all the Fortnite stuff, all the Halloween stuff going on right now. I'm still trying to get together Horror Nights content. If you want to find me on social media, I have the link tree in my bios on everything. It's linked to everything. I'm most active on Twitter, so reach out to me there if you're interested in reaching out to me for something. And as always, see you next time.